to us. One of the most powerful ways that you can get people to listen to you is language. Language is very important. And one of the most powerful things in language that gets people to listen to you are metaphors. Metaphors are very powerful substitutions for other things. They are representations of things that we might find difficult to understand. There are some really good metaphors in the speeches tonight. The first metaphor that I really loved, and it came across a few times, and I mentioned it a few times, was a personalized metaphor of life, of something living inside of us. So when Ashley gave us her speech, at the end of her speech, she said that her name Cheyenne is a name living in my body and soul. Now, why is it a metaphor? She personalizes the name, make it seem like it's a human being, and she says that our heart and our soul is like a house or a home. That's the metaphor. It's very powerful. These kinds of personalized metaphors really do speak to the heart. Gordon also stretched that out when he was talking about Toastmasters as a degree in life, and he said you have to have it inside of you. It's a similar concept, that this idea of Toastmasters must live inside of you. So this is the idea that Toastmasters is this living, breathing thing that has some kind of life, and our body is like a temple or a home where something lives inside of us. So these kinds of metaphors really hit home. There were some other great metaphors. I think in Tracy's speech, she was talking about using journey metaphors. And she was talking about how Toastmasters is a journey. And then she switches it to how Toastmasters open things. So these kinds of ideas that when we talk about journeys, if you're a leader and you want somebody to follow you, speak about a journey. Speak about a journey. We are on a journey of success. We are on a pursuit of excellence. We are walking down the road of greatness. These journey-style metaphors will get people to listen to you very quickly. The other metaphor that Tracy was using was comparing Toastmasters to a world. And the positive association with that is we all think of like Mother Earth as a beautiful place. It's where we live. And she's saying Toastmasters is a whole new world, a whole new beautiful place in which we can live. That's the metaphor. It's powerful. People listen to things like that. Coming back to the heart, sorry I missed one. Coming back to the heart, I think it was David's feedback when he spoke about how to get people to listen to you. Speak from the heart. And I heard that a few times tonight. Our hearts don't have mouths. Our hearts don't have mouths, but it's the idea that our hearts actually have a voice. It's this, once again, this personification of the heart, saying the heart is something real that can talk to us. These kinds of metaphors, they do hit home, and we should try and use them a little bit more. Other things I enjoyed was, in Ashley's speech, she used very good balance in her sentences. She had a very good phrase. She said, the sea is as blue as the sky. The sand is as white as the clouds. And you notice the balance in that sentence. So she's comparing the sea is as blue as the sky. So the one is down here, the one is up there. And then she goes on to the sand is as white as the clouds. One is down there, one is down there. But if she had said something like, the sea is as blue as the sky and the clouds are as white as the sand, the way we process that in our brains will seem a little bit off. So good job on getting that one right. That was great. The thing in Tracy's speech I also enjoyed was she had fantastic alliteration. Was it Tracy? No, sorry, it was Paishan, where she was talking about how to become a polyglot. She used this phrase, practice persistence matter. Practice persistence. Excellent rhyming. Alliteration is very important in speech. In fact, they found that even people on the stock market, they will invest in companies more if their names rhyme. Like if they have alliteration in the name, they'll be more likely to invest in that company than a name that doesn't have any alliteration or is difficult to pronounce. So alliteration is very important. And then he went on to say, motivation matters. More wonderful alliteration. 1, 2, nice balance, nice alliteration. But I would suggest a better way to say that is in the art of rhetoric. There are other ways to talk. So we can use things called polysyndeton's or asyndeton's. And what that means are either breathless sentences or sentences with lots of ands inside of them. So if she wants to create the urgency, she could say something like, practice, persistence, and motivation matter. Sorry, no and. Practice, persistence, motivation matter. Or you could slow it down. You could say, patience, and persistence, and motivation matter. depending on how you want to emphasize. If you want to slow it down and make it, or if you want to make a sense of urgency, then we cut out all the ands and put it all together. So these are just some wonderful English tools and some language tools that you can use in your speech. One thing I would suggest, Ashley, it's your first time up, don't use the word shit. In Toastmasters, we don't use shit. So we wouldn't talk about using shit as something to build a roof. We'd call it dung or manure. That's it. But the rest of it is great. Thank you very much. General Evaluator.